Open session after meeting in closed session to discuss the topics presented.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Carrie, please call the roll.
Carver. Yes. Bryhan.
Yes.
Bertles.
Yes.
Sanderson.
Yes.
Ahart.
Yes.
Bauer.
Yes.
Bryhan.
Yes.
Petey.
Yes. Okay, with the mission approved to reconvene to open session, Carrie, would you please call the roll?
Bertles.
Here.
Sanderson.
Here.
Ahart.
Yes.
Bauer.
Yes.
Bryhan.
Here.
Carver. Here. Johnson. Proctor. Petey.
Here. Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to the school board meeting tonight. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. I'll entertain a motion to approve the March 23rd, 2026 agenda as has been amended this evening.
So moved.
Second.
Carrie, please call the roll.
Bertles.
Yes.
Carver. Yes. Sanderson.
Yes.
Ahart.
Yes.
Bauer.
Yes.
Bryhan.
Yes.
Petey.
Yes. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the board's executive closed special session meeting held on February 19th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Carrie, please call the roll.
Sanderson.
Yes.
Bertles.
Yes.
Ahart.
Yes.
Bauer.
Yes.
Bryhan.
Yes.
Carver. Yes. Petey.
Yes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the board's executive closed special session meeting held on February 23rd, 2026. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Carrie, please call the roll.
Bryhan.
Yes.
Sanderson.
Yes.
Bertles.
Yes.
Ahart.
Yes.
Bauer.
Yes.
Carver. Yes. Petey.
Yes. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the board's executive closed special, closed session meeting held on March 9th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Carrie, please call the roll.
Carver. Yes. Bertles.
Yes.
Sanderson.
Yes.
Ahart.
Yes.
Bauer.
Yes.
Bryhan.
Yes.
Petey.
Yes. Okay. At this time, Dr. Shelton will provide the superintendent's report. Or,
Change the-
sorry,
I was gonna say it's not changed
Sorry.
right here.
this time. It's
Sorry,
like an
okay.
Anchorman script, right? Just lean hard into it. Okay, at this time, Dr. Duncan will provide the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Patey. Thank you, board. March has been a very busy month, so I'll give you a little update on all the things that's been happening. First thing, I was able to go to Mrs. McClay's class for Read Across America Day. Read Across America Day is a nationwide celebration that promotes reading and literacy for children and adults. Held annually around March 2nd, it encourages schools, families, and communities to share the joy of books through read-alouds, activities, and special events. Organized by the National Education Association, the day highlights the importance of daily reading and access to diverse, engaging books that help build lifelong learning habits. So I read a book called 3 Little Aliens and the Big Bad Robot. I didn't know, she didn't give me the book ahead of time. So I began reading this book and it hit me. I was like, this is the 3 Little Pigs, but this is just like the new version. So yeah, I'm real excited about that. The kids were awesome. Like I said, if you see that picture, we had a spirit week that week, so it gave me an opportunity to put some pajamas on for an hour and hang out with the kids. So it was a real good experience. I'm glad Mrs. McClay asked me to be there. We also attended the 2026 Business Forecast. The 2026 Edwardsville Business Forecast Breakfast was held on March 10th at the Morris University Center at SIUE, bringing together more than 220 businesses and community leaders. Hosted by the City of Edwardsville, the annual event focused on green space and growth, fitting the pieces together. Mayor Art Risby highlighted strong economic indicators, including rising property values, ongoing construction, and continued interest from new businesses, while outlining priorities for infrastructure and downtown improvements in 2026. The city gave a special shout out to District 7 for the Lincoln Centennial Celebration, which was held this past August. Also, would like to highlight our CEO program. So our kids who were involved in CEO, they were invited to this event. They were networking, they were shaking hands, they were building relationships. It was really cool to see them. They were dressed up, shirts and ties and dresses. They represented District 7 very well, and we also had the chamber orchestra who was providing the music for that day. So District 7 was represented very well at the Business Forecast Breakfast. So last week, I met with PTO leadership. PTO leadership, and what this looks like is I meet with all the PTOs across the district. We cover various topics. The highlights for that conversation, the first things we talked about was our background procedures. We've updated our background procedure checks, so those all go through central office. So just kind of explaining the why behind that and what that procedure looks like moving forward. We outlined Teacher Appreciation Week. PTOs are very excited to celebrate our teachers. And then we planned our annual PTO Leadership Conference, which will be held on May 18th here at Liberty Middle School from 5 to 7. The conference the intent of it is to begin the transition from two different PTO boards. So we just kind of reset, establish baseline. And then the biggest thing for them is it allows them time to collaborate. And so what they do is they get together, they look at their calendars so that they don't assign big fundraisers at the same time. They're not competing against fundraisers. They brainstorm good ideas, how they're celebrating teachers. So it's a good event. And so each year we have it. And so we kind of outline the agenda and what that will look like. The next thing is teacher advisory. Teacher advisory met last week. Teacher advisory is designed to bring teachers' voices to the forefront as we explore new initiatives and programs for our district. Most importantly, it creates a valuable, focused time for me to connect with teachers, listening intentionally and engage in authentic discussions about the great work and real needs in our buildings. Teacher advisory is divided into 3 collaborative groups: high school, middle school, elementary. And so what it does, it allows us to hear a wide range of voices throughout the district. There are 10 teachers from the high school. There are 3 teachers from both Lincoln and Liberty, and then there are 20 teachers from elementary. And so we meet in we have staggered meetings. The high school meets because they have very different needs than elementary and middle school than elementary. Carrie attends these meetings, and what she does is she takes copious notes like she does now. And then what I do is I summarize the notes up. I send it back out to teacher advisory so they can look at it. And my goal there is just to make sure we didn't miss anything. So it really allows them to look at the notes from the meeting to say, hey, this is exactly what we covered. All the main points are there. And then what I will do is I'll share them with our district leadership team. I share them with principals. And then we send it out to all districts. So elementary will get all the notes, middle school gets their notes, and high school gets their notes. And what this does is this process promotes transparency, strengthens communication, helps build deeper connections across the district. It's really neat having teachers from across the district just kind of talk about what's going on in their buildings. Our buildings are so different. Our kids' needs are different in each building. And it's truly a space where teachers just feel comfortable to talk and we problem solve. So it's a pretty cool deal. We also had District 7 Leadership Academy last week. District 7 Leadership Academy is made up of teachers from across the district that have expressed interest in growing themselves as leaders. I believe that's extremely important to invest and grow in our future leaders in District 7. This program is one of the ways we ensure to have a pipeline of leaders. Our meetings always start with a quick update on how their leadership journey is going and any opportunities they've had over the last month to lead. Then we try to have a different leader from District 7 to present on a specific topic. This month, Mrs. Tara Fox did an awesome job of pretty much going over how to have a difficult conversation. And this slide here, she started her presentation, and you guys can't read the bottom, but what it says is the quality of your leadership will be tested in your most difficult conversations. One thing that we know is having difficult conversations is not easy, and for our future leaders, we are really trying to build them so they are ready to be leaders in the district. And so Tara went through and kind of just the value of having those difficult conversations, making sure that they're able to address, understand that when you don't address a situation, all it does is just continues to pass it down. You know, if you're seeing behaviors from teachers or students, you know, that you're just ignoring, all it does is empower other people to do it. And so she did a really good job. They were so engaged. This meeting takes place at 4 o'clock. I was in and out, and every time I went in, the teachers were locked in. So Tara did a great job. Dr. Smith has met with them several times. So this is a good group of people. We're just really trying to invest in our future leaders in District 7. Building visits, as we've talked in previous meetings, I've been going through the district to meet, really just to kind of get an understanding of three main principles, which is what is going well in District 7, what are our areas of growth, and just asking teachers truly, like, what are their suggestions? They're the people in the trenches, they're doing the work at that level. And what I've learned very quickly is many times ideas that we come up with at the top may not always be applicable when it's time to get it done. And so these meetings have been going very well. I've seen Liberty, Lincoln, Glen Carbon, Hamill, Nelson, Columbus. That was what I did this month. I still have to go LeClaire, Midway, Warden. A couple updates, our early takeaways would be one, I can tell you guys, our staff in District 7 is amazing. It can be uncomfortable when you open up and say, hey, let's really have a conversation about what is happening in our buildings. You don't know what you're gonna get. And I'm always a little nervous. And regardless of where our conversations go, they always focus back on kids. Every single suggestion, recommendation is always going back to how our teachers can continue to support, love, nurture our kids. And that has been overwhelming in every building we went to. Second thing is our district's very big. In a district this size, you have to have effective systems. In our system, I mean, it's just an area that we have to tighten up. And so that was something that's come out. The next thing that's come out is being respectful of time. And I think that nobody has enough time. So if we're taking time, we need to be intentional. It needs to be planned out. And then the last thing is just pace. Over the last couple of years, we have done a lot of things, very good things, but sometimes you gotta take a break and look at how things are operating. And I say to slow down to go fast. And that is kind of 4 major points that I've seen early that has been pretty consistent across all the buildings. Once we're done, I will summarize all the notes. I'll present those to the board. I will kind of present these takeaways to the community as well, and that will help us chart our path for 26, 27. Big upcoming events for the next couple weeks here. Spring break is coming up Wednesday, April 1st through Monday, April 6th. I will tell you that I think everybody's ready for a little break. Registration will open up Monday, April 13th. There will be communication coming out from the district when we return from spring break. We have our first ever senior breakfast, which is Friday, April 17th. It will start at 8 to 9:30. It's at Edwardsville High School. If anybody's interested in coming or you know people, please have them email Carrie. We have about 50 people signed up, so we're looking forward to a nice, fun breakfast. One thing that we are doing this year, which we've never done before, is at the central office level, we're going to do a safety crisis tabletop. We feel as a district that we are continuing to improve on our safety at the building level, but one area we have to improve, one area we have to address is at the top. So if something was to happen, who is doing what? Who is communicating? Who is going to the site? Who is going to the reunification site? All of those things we are still working through. And so Michael Hubbard, the Director of Security, Edwardsville Police Department, and Fire Department have worked together, collaborated to create a tabletop exercise for us. And so that is what we're gonna do this month. One thing that, I was at a conference and a lady in Chatham, they had just had a crisis last year. And she said the thing that she thought she was planned for, it failed, was communication. Her communications. She said she was communicating, the police department was communicating, the fire department was communicating. And so the one thing that the Edwardsville Police Department told us very early is that your PR person and our PR person need to be lockstep. So we are sending the same message out to the community at the same time. And that was something that just hit me like we have to get organized. So that'll happen this month. And then the last one is the District 7 Staff Appreciation Event, which is at the Outlet. It's one of our big events for the year. Teachers come, it's from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. We will have a dinner they can take home. They come, hang out, and they get a dinner and take home to their family. So that'll be at the end of the month.
Dr. Duncan, just to clarify, the senior breakfast is for community seniors, not seniors at the high school, correct?
You are correct. We discussed this a little bit, but as we continue to move forward, we're going to have to begin establishing goals for the 26-7 school year. And what I would like for this process to look like, we have a board goals that are aligned to board policy 310. As you can see, these are the 5 goals that we have up there. And so what I want to do with the board is we'll start with goal 1. I'm going to give you an example. So goal 1 will provide high quality, equitable, and student-centered learning experiences to increase the educational and personal growth of each child. So that's the goal. Now, within that goal, the conversation that we would like to have together is, what are our priorities that align to that goal? What are our priorities for 26-27 that will help us achieve that goal? We have the conversation, we determine the priorities, and then what I will do is I will take those priorities back to my team, and then we will create the action steps to achieve those priorities. And so the board will help draft the priorities, then we will take the action steps that will get us there, and those will start with my individual goals to leadership's goals to principal's goals, all the way down. So this will need to happen in a working session. Hopefully we can get that done so that we can have these conversations with the staff before they leave in May. And last but not least, superintendent shout-outs. We got a handful today. First thing, Ms. Samoska, Ms. Pecker, and Mahmood, Mrs. Mahmood. This is from a parent. I would like to highlight these amazing teachers that you have in District 7. Not only did my son's current teacher show up for him yesterday, but his teachers from 2nd and 3rd grade also came to support him on a Saturday afternoon for his championship 10U hockey game. All 3 contributed to that win, we truly believe, simply by sitting in those stands. The teachers have always been amazing, but going this above and beyond truly meant everything to him. Not only have they been outstanding educators, but they are also wonderfully kind individuals. Thank you. We have Ms. Shannon Weber. Mrs. Weber is truly one of those teachers who leaves a lasting mark on a child's heart. Her kindness, compassion, and unwavering support go far beyond the classroom. She pours her whole heart into her students every single day. We're incredibly blessed to have had her twice, and rest easy knowing our child is loved, supported, and in the very best hands. Thank you, Mrs. Weber. The timing of this couldn't be better. We have the EHS wrestling coaches who just happen to be in the building today. As a parent of a multi-sport athlete, the EHS wrestling coaches are truly exceptional. Their commitment goes far beyond wins and losses. They're building strong, disciplined, and confident athletes. They push their wrestlers to work hard, believe in themselves, and grow from every challenge. The time, passion, and heart they pour into this program are evident, both on and off the mat. We're incredibly grateful for the impact they have on our son and for the positive culture they continue to build at Eversville Wrestling. Thank you, Eversville Wrestling. Mr. Wagner, that's where you're supposed to smile a little bit. Thank you, sir.
Still thinking about that senior bracket.
Mrs. Ashley Valenzuela, thank you for the passion, dedication, and care you bring to your classroom every day. Your encouragement and enthusiasm truly inspire your students, but your impact goes far beyond the classroom. You make your students feel heard, valued, and supported, and that means everything. We're so grateful for the positive difference you make in your students' lives and for the confidence and love of learning you help build in them. Teachers like you shape not just great students, but great people. We appreciate you more than you know. Thank you, Mrs. Valenzuela. We have Mrs. Cobb from the high school. Mrs. Choi Cobb was extremely instrumental in helping my daughter get through her last few months of high school. She was very inclusive, and she knew how to both correct my daughter when she was wrong, while still humanizing and showing loving kindness towards her when she was doing right. Thank you, Mrs. Cobb. Mrs. Notmeyer, I wanted to take a moment to share how much we truly value and appreciate Mrs. Notmeyer. It occurred to me after our call last week that I hadn't said this, and I want to make sure I did. She is truly exceptional. Despite having a full classroom, she creates an environment where each child feels seen and supported. We consistently feel that our daughter receives individualized support, and I have no doubt that all of her students benefit from the same level of care. It is clear that Mrs. Notmeyer is deeply invested in her students' success as we continue working through ways to best support her. I want to be sure that her dedication, effort, and genuine care do not go unrecognized. Thank you, Mrs. Notmeyer. And that is it for my superintendent report.
Okay, cool. We don't have any student representative reports, right?
No, sir.
Okay, at this time, does any board member have a report to share? No? Okay, hearing none. Okay, we are in the section of the meeting where we recognize special guests, students who have excelled, and provide the opportunity for visitors to address the school board. At this time, I'd like to introduce Katie Beavis O'Neill, principal at Albert Cassins Elementary School, and Cole Greenland, principal of Columbus Elementary School, who will recognize their students of the month of February.
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Duncan, Mr. Patey, and board for allowing me to be here this evening to recognize Maddie, because she is truly exceptional. So Maddie is a fabulous fourth grader at Cassins Elementary. She is a hard worker. She shows her paws. She is everything that we want from our students. She's a fantastic role model. But when you hear this story, you'll truly understand why. And I have to read it word for word because it was so amazing. So during a recent assignment back in February, Maddie in her classroom had to write an I Have a Dream speech. They had an activity and they were writing what they dream for, what they hope for in, could be our school, in life. And Maddie said, or shared in her dream, that her dream was for autistic children to never be bullied. Her message was, different is okay, and it reminds us all that kind and acceptance is important and it matters. Maddie believes that when kids are treated kindly, they can truly be happy, and that is just a beautiful message, one that we all in life could benefit from, not just as a fourth grader. So as we think about Maddie's voice, her positivity that she shares, this is something we hope for not only our kiddos at Cassins, but all of our students in District 7, but really for all of our citizens in life. So we are so proud to recognize Maddie for her message that she shared and just the positivity that she brings to Cassins every day. So we are super proud of Maddie.
All right. So congratulations to Maddie as well. So my name is Cole Cranwin. I'm the proud principal at Columbus Elementary. And good evening, Dr. Duncan. Good evening, Board of Education. Wonderful. I have a wonderful fourth grade student as well that I'm going to recognize here tonight. I have some notes here, but we're just, it's just, we're going to go with the theme of being kind and just, helping out each other, being respectful, responsible, being our best. And so we got a little script here. And so this is Amos, and he is a truly exceptional student and a wonderful representative of Columbus Elementary. He consistently demonstrates kindness, responsibility, and leadership in both the classroom and throughout the school day. Amos is always looking out for others. He helps his classmates by quietly reminding them of their band and orchestra schedules, which is very difficult because that's always changing and in and out. Reading groups and other pull-out times. He's very aware of what is going on around him and takes initiative to support those around him. So on the playground, Amos continues to show the same level of care. He frequently notifies staff if he notices someone who may need extra assistance. He has even volunteered to walk students to the nurse or stay with them until they're feeling better, showing genuine compassion for others, which is an awesome trait. Academically, Amos is equally impressive. He wrote an outstanding exploded moment piece based on the story All Summer in a Day, where he placed himself in the perspective of a character. His writing during the scene where the sun was shining was incredibly detailed and truly made the reader feel like they were part of the experience, which was pretty cool. He also created a very imaginative survival story about a character escaping a Yeti on a mountain. His creativity and storytelling skills really stood out. So Amos is all around a great kid. He actively participates, works hard, and can be trusted to collaborate with any classmate. And just his positive influence in our school community is a great example for others. His teacher is here tonight, Miss Baxter, who gave me some great insight and helped me about his writing. And then his family is here as well. So thank you for coming out and supporting Amos. And just Amos, congratulations. I know it's a little nerve-wracking being up here, but congratulations to you. Even though you are a Green Bay Packers fan, I will hold that against you, you know. So great kid and great representative of Columbus Elementary. So thank you.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to introduce Amy Piscola, Athletic Director of Edwardsville High School, who recognized at Edwardsville High School wrestling for their accomplishments.
Dr. Duncan, President Patey, members of the board, both here and virtually, thank you again for having us. We're going to start off a little bit and talk about wrestling. I'm going to start with the girls first and introduce Coach John Wagner in a second. But Coach Wagner, I have to put you on the spot today because you came into my office and he looked at me. And when John retired a year ago, I was really nervous because when we lose teachers to retirement, we usually lose them to coaching. And he looked at me today and he goes, Amy, if you'll have me, I want to come back. And I said, yes, that's not even a question. To get John for one more year, his expertise is amazing. Girls wrestling is exploding through the state. 5 years ago, we only had about 1,200 girls wrestling, and it's the fastest growing sport in the state with over 4,000 girls wrestling. John has grown this program. He has taken over, left the boys to really pour his heart into the girls, and we have one of the largest teams in the state. We have over 20 consistently, and it's a really big deal, and it's really a testament to John and his staff. So, Coach Wagner, the floor is yours.
First of all, Amos, there's 2 Packer fans in here, me and you. Okay. I too, let me get my glasses on. Thank you, Amy, but I too would like to thank Dr. Duncan and the Board of Education for your continued support of the wrestling program, and to Amy and Billy Herman for their work behind the scenes to make our program successful. And I'm going to go off script here for a second as a father of 3 daughters that went through this school district and coaching the boys for so many years, and just by you guys supporting this program a couple years ago and saying we're going to do this, I'm going to talk about my team here for a second, but none of those things would happen without your support in this girls wrestling thing that's exploding and kind of crazy. But once again, I really thank you for the continued support and letting us do what we do. We did have a successful season this year on the girls' end. There is about 300 teams now in the state of Illinois. We we went to the IWCOA dual team state tournament this year, and we placed third out of all those teams. So we do have about 30 girls on our roster, we won the regional championship. We were undefeated in the conference. We won the sectional championship, and like I said, third in state. But I am kind of here to talk about someone special here. Okay, we did have 6 state qualifiers this year, which kind of tied our short-lived record or whatever for having 6. But one of those kind of went up and above and made herself to what we call getting on top of that podium. And that is Emma Rogers, taking 6th place. She's a 2-time state place winner, and that is Emma. Emma Rogers, this little girl here, is a tireless worker. She puts in hours that are just unbelievable in regards to the sport of wrestling. She was working out today, lifting weights, and she'll go to the FCA camp on Saturday. So it's not any surprise on the success that she has out on the mat. She's a fierce competitor, and she's only a sophomore. So hopefully you will be seeing Emma Rogers again. So thank you.
Amy, real quick, I would like to just comment. I had the privilege of going to the girls wrestling state tournament, so I was there for a little bit. And watching our girls walk around, the confidence that they have, and just the passion that I saw, it was so incredible. I'd never been to wrestle meet, so it was crazy. And then John Wagner, I got a call the day before that John was sick, and people were worried. And you know who you see down there coaching these girls up? You would never know John was sick. John was just there grinding it out for his girls. So I'm just very appreciative of you, John Wagner, and just excited to see where this girls wrestling program goes in the future.
When I started in the high school athletic department, I interviewed all of our head coaches, and I asked them specifically to describe Edwardsville athletics in 3 words. And we came up with a mantra, and we call it hustle. And I'm not going to go through all of it with you, but the H stands for historic. And if boys wrestling was not historic this year, I'm not sure what was. It was impressive. I'm not going to steal Eric's thunder, but Coach Preto and his staff has 4 amazing young men and a whole team full of young men, over 60 of them, that have just done amazing things this year. So Coach Preto, introduce your state placers.
I just want to say thank you to the board and Dr. Duncan for honoring these young men. They deserve it. I want to make sure that I thank Alex Fox, our admin at the high school, Amy Boscolo, Bill Herman, and Stacy Schulte for all the support they give our athletic programs, because without them in our corner, our jobs are a lot harder. I want to make sure I thank my staff. I appreciate Coach Ciccarelli, Coach Mattarelli, Coach Hines, Coach Certain, and Coach Odom. In addition to our middle schools, Coach Sean Mead and Sam Mead at Lincoln and Liberty Middle School, in addition to the Edwardsville Wrestling Club. Edwardsville Wrestling is a special place. We're very fortunate enough. I got to make sure I give that parent that $5 to put that shout out in there. It's a special place, and I think it's a special place because we're all on the same page. We all believe in the same mission to enhance wrestlers and families' life through the sport of wrestling. So I appreciate that there's a lot of people, like-minded people in Edwardsville Wrestling. The 25-26 year was pretty, a lot to be appreciative for. We won the Francis Howell North, St. Charles West, 15th in a row conference title, a regional title, a sectional title, and this was the 6th team to make it to Elite 8 team state this year. At the individual sectional, we tied our record for 3A state qualifiers with 7 state qualifiers, which is actually a really neat experience because we did at EHS. So it was a really cool to be able to do that. And with that being said, that tournament would not have happened without Amy Boscola and Bill Herman. They were there both days running around, and it was a really smooth operation. Move on to next week. These gentlemen didn't earn a medal on accident. They put a lot of time, energy, and sacrifice to put themselves in a position to wrestle at a high level against elite competition with integrity, and they did it that weekend in Champaign. Combined of these 4 individuals, they had 143 wins on the season, which is impressive with our schedule. Michael McNamara is a sophomore. He's now a 2-time state qualifier, and he placed 3rd at 106 pounds. Braylon Hillemax is a junior, and he ended up placing 5th at 285 pounds. Ryan Ritchie is a senior, and he did a couple milestones this year. He joined the 100-win club. He's a 3-time state qualifier, a 2-time placer, and placed 6th this year at 144 pounds. And last week, he just committed to Division I Bellamy in Kentucky. And then last is Roman Janik, who also joined the 100-win club, which is, we end up having 4 guys do that this year, but to do that with our schedule is pretty impressive. He finished his career as a 2-time state qualifier, and he placed 3rd this season at 215. And I know he plans to continue to wrestle in college, and he's visiting a few more colleges in the coming weeks. It was kind of a surreal moment at the state tournament with Amy's role with the IHSA. So she was on the floor for all the medal matches, and even cooler, she was the one that got to put the medal around our kids' necks on the podium. So appreciate the support that she gives there. She was there. She was riding the highs and lows with us. And I just once again say one more time, just like Coach Wagner said, we wouldn't be able to do this without your guys' support. So we appreciate the opportunity and the impact that you guys allow us to do. Thank you.
Okay, you want to introduce the
Our final
swim and
program
dive?
is Swim and Dive. Christian Roten, our head coach, is here. He's going to come up and discuss another very historic moment with diving. Specifically, he'll talk a little bit about the season, but making it to state as a diver is hard. Placing as a diver is extremely, extremely hard. And so, Christian, come on up and talk a little bit about this amazing season.
All right, thank you, Athletic Director Boscolo, Dr. Duncan, President Patey, and the school board for allowing me to recognize 2 of our amazing student athletes who represent EHS Boys Swim and Dive. Before I continue, I'd like to recognize and thank my 2 assistant coaches, Brooke Osborne and Justin Thompson, who are here today. Without their help, none of our team success would be possible. Tonight we have 2 of our state medalists from the 25-26 season. We have sophomore Jackson Surrey and senior Derek Reel. I'm going to start off speaking just about Jackson. Jackson is a 4-time sectional champion and state qualifier. This year he achieved the state cut in both the 200 and 500 freestyle and won the 500 freestyle at the sectional meet. At the state meet, he was able to drop 3 seconds from his best time and place 16th in prelims, making him one of 3 sophomores to final in the event this year. Jackson was able to hold his position in the finals, and this makes him the 2nd finalist in the event or any freestyle event in team history. In fact, the last time a member of the boys team finaled in the 500, it was Olympian Billy Stapleton back in 1982. Our 2nd finalist we are recognizing tonight is Derek Reel. Derek is a 2-time sectional champ and state qualifier, and amazingly, he has only dove for 2 years. He came out last year as a junior and learned the sport from scratch. He has an extensive background in tumbling on the international level and took to the sport very quickly. Last year, in the first 2 meets, he set our 6 and 11 dive team records and placed 34th at state. This year, he was able to make team history as our first ever boys diver to final at the state meet, placing 16th out of 48 of the absolute best divers in the state. In closing, these athletes and their teammates work tirelessly to achieve greatness in their sport, and we thank you for your support and your recognition of their hard work.
Okay. Sometimes I can't decide what is my best part of the meeting, favorite part of the meeting, so that's all awesome. Okay, at this time, we've set aside time for anyone wishing to address the board. We've had one sign up. We've got a thing to go through here, though. I'd like to remind our public that this portion of the meeting, for a maximum of 60 minutes, time is reserved for comments from the public in accordance with Policy 2230, public participation at Board of Education meetings, and petition to the board as follows. This will be the only opportunity to address the board during the regular meeting. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. A screen timer will be provided. Individuals may not defer their time to another speaker. If your comments are about matters involving students or district personnel, please refrain from disclosing names. Please understand that the board will not respond to questions made during public comment, but may direct the superintendent to address these questions in a district communication or at a subsequent board meeting. Please remember that the board generally needs to gather additional information about any questions or concerns prior to responding or taking action. At the conclusion of the meeting, if you have additional questions for the board, please see the board secretary. Okay, and we have one sign up, Jennifer Sparks.
First, I'd like to say thank you. Hamel and Midway Elementary buildings deserve their own principal. A full-time principal in each school is essential to ensure student safety and consistent decision-making about emergencies, consistent consequences for behavior, and the day-to-day operations. Safety of the students and staff during emergencies should be a top priority when making decisions. Possible weather emergencies include tornadoes, inclement weather, or fire. Additional emergencies could include intruders in the building or outside circumstances which may impact either school's daily setting. During inclement weather, early dismissals may occur. When decisions must be made to dismiss early, having the principal located at only one building leaves the other school without immediate leadership. This actually happened this past school year during an early dismissal day because of inclement weather. The principal had to communicate to the counselor at Midway the situation, and in turn, she had to communicate to the rest of the staff. How immediate is this? These types of decisions should be made and communicated immediately to the staff, but can't be done because one building does not have a principal. Emergency situations such as tornado warnings require immediate coordination to ensure students and staff move quickly and safely to their designated shelter areas. Last school year, the principal was at Midway, leaving Hamel vulnerable because the principal was not accessible because phone lines were down. What happens if a building needs to be relocated to their secondary location? Who makes that call? Again, how immediate is this if a building cannot be contacted because the phone lines or the internet is down? A principal present in the building helps ensure clear communication, organized procedures, and calm leadership during these critical moments. In the event of a fire, Midway and Hamel are extremely vulnerable because it solely depends upon volunteer fire departments such as Hamel, Prairietown, Dorsey, and Holiday Shores. These individuals are not stationed 24 hours a day at the facility, so response time will be longer. A principal plays a key role in coordinating evacuation procedures, communicating with emergency responders, and ensuring safety for all. Without an administrator present, staff may be placed in the difficult position of making safety decisions during a crisis. A principal in each building supports consistent implementation of behavioral expectation and consequences. Students benefit when leadership is present, visible, and able to respond promptly to concerns while working closely with teachers and families. At no fault to the principal, sometimes behavior isn't addressed until the next day or later. If the principal is at one building but is also thinking about what needs to be done at the other, how is this fair to the principal, staff, students, and families? A full-time principal and not an intern at Hamel and Midway is important to ensure safety and operations. Both buildings need consistency with the same person from year to year. Strong and consistent leadership in each building helps to ensure students, staff, and families feel safe, supported, and confident in the school's ability to respond effectively in emergencies and everyday situations. Thank you. If you want, I do have a comment.
Thank you. Is anybody else wishing to address the board? Okay, before we move on to the next agenda item, we'd like to say thank you. And while we're unable to address comments at this time, please know that the board will have a conversation with administration about the topics brought up tonight, and expect to hear from Dr. Duncan on or an appropriate staff member either by phone or email. Okay. Moving on to consent agenda items. Would any board member like to remove any consent agenda item from separate or for separate action?